Happy good morning to you. I guess we do look a little bit like we're summoning a demon.
A little bit.
But a very small, cute demon that's only this big. That's like an Indian in the cupboard situation.
It can hurt. He can slice you with a letter opener, but not much more.
That's like adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that book and movie. Title didn't age well, but it's a cute story.
Yeah, you know. What's up? We got Eliana, we got Rainer, we got Mir Mac, we got Slivies, we got Conrad, we got Deep Backer Bob, we got Ab Trooper, we got Quick Sam.
I'm worried your hair is taking over. Me? Isn't that crazy?
See, my good point is like I'm kind of quarantine safe with my hair.
I am with every day growing more and more concerned by the reality that I'm gonna have to cut my hair at some point. I'm gonna cut my own hair.
Cut your own hair, yeah.
Are you serious? This is a little point. I add more and more water to Nick's wet palette every single week, and yet he always adds more, and I think it's a little bit about control.
It's not about control. It's not about control.
I added a gallon.
You did not.
So much so that when I was doing the thing, I was like, flowing, water is just pouring out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't. Gravity is a thing.
It was very close. I didn't pour very much in. It's just like, I was almost like,
it's one of those
should I try and do this where Mike can't see because I know he's going to get self-conscious.
It's just one of those things that, like, today I purposely like, this is an insane amount of water, and I just knew, I was like, it's still not going to be enough. I don't have a problem with it. It's just somebody like, what is the level of water?
I don't know. I'm still honestly, one of the main issues is I'm still trying to decide what the level of water I want to be at is. What's up, Noel Race?
What's coming?
What's up, Magma Flamingo?
How
is Sleaford? I saw you've been painting some minis. You've been sending us pictures of them. Thank you for that, by the way. We got a whole mini painting channel in our Discord. If you did not know,
yeah. I need to post some of my stuff. I'm kind of proud of some of the stuff I've
You should be posting your stuff. I took a picture of all the mechs from Scythe.
Oh yeah, all like
yeah, because I was just like, we need to actually take a picture of all these. What's going on, fam?
GenCon that post later. See our we're proud of our work.
Proud of our work.
I'll send you some mousse. Is my hair that crazy today? It's like a little poofy to the side. I haven't had a chance to like get it down. But I felt the top's okay. It looked worse an hour ago.
It's just bigger than it usually is, I think.
Yeah, it's looking like it's looking cartoony. I'm gonna be this level soon. You'll see.
Which is fine, yeah.
Conrad says, morning, Conrad, by the way. My hair is that perfect stage between, did he mean to look like that, and what the hell was he thinking?
Yeah. I don't think your hair's that long. It's getting longer.
No, it's just, it's the sides are getting...
Yeah, it's definitely getting longer.
Yeah, it's time to grow it. I've got it, like, now when I'm doing the thing, I got to, like, go back as much as I can, so it keeps it sort of the profile. I'm not going...
Tight to the head, yeah.
Yeah, as much as I can. But I'm like, I might have to cut my own do. I'm...
At least here. What? You're going to fade it? I feel like Karen could do it.
I might just buzz it or something.
No, you cannot buzz it.
Well, that way you have it's a chance to do a bit, you know? Like, I don't know.
For the bit.
I was thinking of doing like sketches and stuff, and then I remembered that I have to like make professional videos, so I can't. But doing it where like I cut my hair and we're just doing like isolation games, so I've just got like a patch. Like I would do like a full on patch, like, and like have a patch on the side of my head of hair missing and stuff. That'd be amazing. But
oh no.
Then BGG would be mad.
That's the thing, is like, yeah, we gotta think about that.
And GenCon and anyone that we professionally work with.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you need to not look like this.
Buzz a die into it. That'd be sick. That's so cool. Then they know we're board gamers.
That's how only way people get know, you know?
Yeah. Next stretch goal. Oh, we should get. What would we have to set a Patreon monthly goal at for you to cut your hair? Like, could you cut your hair for a price? You want more?
Yeah.
I don't know if you need more.
Yeah, I could definitely cut my hair for a price. I don't know what that price would be. It would not be like that astronomical. I love my hair, don't get me wrong, but like I'm not like that attached to it, honestly.
It's the key to your power. You're Samson.
I'm
You can't be killed.
But so no, I mean, yeah, there'd definitely be a price. So the thing is, like, I think Mirmec's more in the boat. Like, I'd pay for him not to cut his hair. I feel like my hair has become such a part of, like...
What we do is we set stretch goals at the exact same level. One is to cut your hair, one is not cut your hair. Either way, we race to that number as both parties want their outcome. And then at the end, we just never say which one won, and we just made a lot of money.
We came out on top.
It's kind of brilliant.
Kind of brilliant.
Bree Mike going, hey, what's up, Bree Mike?
What up, Marine Mike?
How you doing? Did we get our emotes approved? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know. I can check. Hold on.
Sorry. I just realized if we did, then folks who are subscribed to the Brothers Murph could use them, but we.
It's not looking like it, but let me double check. I can double check. Hold on.
Dang, man. How's everyone's Wednesday? Is the day that is today.
That
How's
is the
Wednesday?
day.
How y'all doing?
What's
What's good?
Nah, they still pending.
Dang. Nerds. We just,
Twitch partnership for the next haircut. If we got a Twitch partner, I'd think about it.
If Twitch was like, yo, cut your hair live on stream, we'll make you partner, I'd get my clippers right now.
Yeah, that's actually true.
You should stretch go for stretching. Ooh, that's so meta. It could work.
It's so meta, it could work.
It could make us a lot of money. It's long, very uninspired at work, says Meeple Conrad.
I bet.
Word, it is Wednesday. Sometimes it's tough to summon the energy, the inspiration when you're kind of, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but that light is a ways off yet. It's tough. So I hope that we help inspire your morning, or at least help the time go by a little bit, and so that there's a little bit less day after. I don't think it's gonna work. Speaking of passing the time, folks, we are not the only show this morning.
That is accurate.
There's a 4-hour power block.
Yeah,
power block. That's basically This Game is Broken takes over Gen Con. So,
that's your fault right there.
The arms of an angel. So after us, right at 11, Matthew Jude and Paula Deming, are gonna go live with This Game Gets Dicey.
That's right.
And they're gonna be doing some. What the heck is this Orleone bit doing here?
It was somehow ended up at my place. I don't know why.
We've got some ween.
We got some ween.
We got a bit of ween here.
And you got slivers.
I have realized, you know how we mispronounce words a lot on purpose?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm capable of saying the long I sound anymore.
Yeah, I say E?
Yeah. It just makes me laugh. Like, we were playing Tekkenu the other day, and they have scribes. And so I'm going to pay 2 scribes.
Yeah.
And then there was one yesterday that I did, and I said with an E, it's all 5 tribes' fault.
It's Feeb Trees. That's the thing, is it is Feeb Trees' fault. It makes me laugh. I don't know why. That is accurate.
I'm speaking in Espanol, man.
That's the thing.
That's how you'd say it in Spanish.
That's right.
It's ween.
It's ween. Yeah.
Also, thanks for the sub to Paula Deming last night. Slivers, cheers.
Slivers, baby, you got it.
It's all you, man.
We want to support Paula.
Paying it forward and paying it back.
Here's the thing. We got money like
gotta support. We have got.
I wish it was true. Just be like 25 subs every day.
That's life goals. That'd be amazing.
I would love that. Every day, every Fred stream, just drop 20 subs. Hashtag
so
goals.
Amazing. Someday, man. Someday. Why not?
Yeah.
Someday it'd be the thing that would be amazing is to someday like have finances in such an order that if we're doing Twitch and stuff, we can just do charitable stuff with that money.
Yeah.
Like 100%, like any money we make on these things
goes back to
we're gonna sub people. We're gonna like raid folks and do sub parties to
that
them.
Would be goals.
And stuff like that would be so cool.
That would be great.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I said for years my life goal is to be a Twitch philanthropist. I had a weird dream.
You've achieved that pretty well.
Real talk.
Already. You're on the way.
Speaking of that, I had a weird ass dream where I was like some rich mogul dude.
Yeah.
And I started a Twitch account called the Twitch Philanthropist, and I would just drop like $1 million to people. And just like awesome. in the dream, I would just like roll through the chat, just be like, "What's up?" And people would see the Twitch Philanthropist, and people would start freaking out in the chat, and then all of a sudden they like wait for all of a sudden like boop, and it's like, oh, and then I just leave, and all of a sudden show like, what's up to someone else, and just like, that's like legit.
Oh my God, he's here!
Slivers, I totally feel you. Here's the thing, Mr. Beast gives people like thousands of dollars on Twitch all the time for no reason. How about you hit the board game world, Mr. Beast? Get that real money.
Mr. Beast, come on down. We are live.
You always a couple of Tony Starks and glowing lights in your chest. I know. We noticed that last
Part of why
week.
we do it.
Now that we turn these
a
on,
circular shirt,
we're live,
which is cool. So it's like even cooler.
I feel like that's how it always looks in his helmet.
Can point of order?
Point of order, Mike.
Y'all, Iron Man 3 is literally straight up amazing.
No, it's not.
It's the best Iron Man movie.
God, no, it's not.
100%. Fact.
It's the second best.
Fact. Behind like one of the Avenger movies? Yeah,
No, it's the second best. It's
so
the second best Iron Man movie.
No, the best.
No.
I just watched all 3 recently. It's the best. It's the best. It's the best movie.
Sure.
As a whole. Because like 90% of it is just a Lethal Weapon movie.
Yeah.
It's just Lethal Weapon.
This is him with PTSD. Which I
is
love
great.
I love that they address it. I love that
And, like,
you know what I
there's a
love that
big
they
thing-
address is that Fios needs help.
They really do.
I love that they
Fios
address
needs
that.
help.
That I honestly don't care about
You know
product
what's
placement, but that's
interesting?
the funniest product placement in the
You know
whole
what's
world.
interesting is
That's like damn near Transformers level.
yeah, but on Disney Plus when you
Does it say Disney
like
Plus?
the little no like before the movie goes, it says includes product placement in the movie.
Oh, is that right?
Like so that you know.
That's every movie.
And I'm like, I was just like,
Yeah.
no crap. Like every big movie is like, oh, that's weird. We're in the middle of Winter Soldier right now, and I'm like, that's weird. Every single car's General Motors.
Yeah.
What a weird world we live in. Every single one. And you're like, yeah.
Everyone, it's like in the first
That's how
Transformers.
these
Everyone's got a
things
Chevy. Interesting.
That's how these things get made.
Yeah.
Mike, get out. No, you get out. Iron Man 3 is incredible. Incredible.
It's weird because like I both respect the just straight
It is
the
the
gall
greatest
to do that to the Mandarin because
Yes.
I'm like here's the thing. No.
It's
no,
amazing.
I do not like it.
Oh, I love it.
But I respect
think
the
it's
fact
great
that they're
for
like,
you.
we're gonna take his biggest villain and just make him a weird joke. And Ben Kingsley is super funny.
Yeah.
But
It's perfect.
I loved the Mandarin before that. I thought he was so cool. And the Mandarin's his biggest villain. And they just like threw him away. But again, I respect it. But Guy Ritchie's character in that. He's
Right,
like,
so I think it's
he
my
was
favorite
mean to me once. Oh gosh. it's
yeah,
just
that's
so-
the weakest part.
Oh.
That's the weakest part.
I am the Mandarin. Everyone's
That
like,
part is
cool.
not good.
Cool.
That part is just like, why?
Cool.
Every time I'm like, why'd you have that line? But outside of those 2 little moments,
I do like all the
it's
PTSD
such
stuff.
a good
I do.
movie. Not even that.
That's the only thing I like about it.
His whole like when he's like in the town and stuff with a kid and sort of like rediscovering things, and then when he's just like running around like, literally with like Don Cheadle and like there's just Iron Man suit. First of all, also the end like with all the suits doing stuff is the coolest thing.
It's pretty wild.
It's so dope.
Yeah.
And him jumping into suits and out of suits and stuff, and then they're just running around, running and gunning like it literally is just Lethal Weapon. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Again, it's
It's
just
so
like
Shane Blackie. It's amazing.
it is very Shane Black.
He makes like homemade stuff to like raid the house where he's just got like little tools and things, but he doesn't
Yeah.
have a suit. So good. So
It's fine. Don't get me wrong, it's not the worst
so good.
Marvel movie, but
So good.
you know.
It's not. It's one of the best.
All right, let's go ahead and start, Mikey.
What I said after watching Iron Man 2, it's fun, but it's pretty weak.
Iron Man 2 is garbage, dude.
It's not ideal. It's fun. It's just like sort of like,
Why is my thing blown out super hardcore now?
oh no, you're glowing bee.
Glowing. I've got to change it now.
So we are painting. This is Quirky Circuits we're looking at, by the way. I've got a cat that's on a Roomba.
Roomba
It's
cat.
got a little bee with some little propellers.
Indeed.
Quirky Circuits, for folks that do not know about the game itself, is a cooperative programming game where there's ultimately 4 little robots you can be. There's like a little dog. Oop, there he goes, a little dog bot. And a little sushi chef bot. Okay. Along with the little cat and the bee. So,
The bee.
in the game, it's a little campaign thing that's actually really clever. There's like a book that has a bunch of different maps and scenarios on it and things you need to achieve. And each of the robots do a certain type of thing. And then there's like 6 or so missions for each of the robots that get harder and harder and harder. And they get legitimately hard,
man.
And the way it works in the game is you have to play out cards in a sequence without talking to try to, if you're the cat, you're trying to clear up dust bunnies, trying to clean because he's on a little vacuum.
It checks out.
Or she or it is on a little vacuum.
Gizmo, I think, is a boy. His name is Gizmo. Like it's Gizmo TV
It's
girl.
a fairly non-gendered name, but I don't know.
I think
I'm just really trying to check
it
myself
literally makes a difference.
from defaulting to
They're
a
super cute.
male pronoun. So yeah, like they will like go around and collect dust bunnies. Like Nick's little bee,
So bee
is
flies.
like flying, and they're on that little stand. They fly, and like their whole
And
thing.
she has to like pick stuff up.
pick stuff up and like deliver it.
Yeah.
To a certain.
She's
space.
a little pick 'em and deliver.
And
yeah.
they have like a really cool. If you move really fast, there's like inertia. So on your next turn, you'll like drift further, and they can also go side to side.
Yeah, so it's a program game. So you might be like, if you move 2 spaces, like bonk, bonk, and then turn,
going.
she'll then go bonk because she's in the air. So she drifts. It's wild.
I understand it's somewhat similar to Robo Rally. Yeah, except
Kind
for
of.
it's cooperative.
I mean, in a way.
And you're putting a program all together. So like you're putting these cards out. So Nick might and they're putting them face down. So on the backs of the cards, there's some information saying, hey, this is a turning card. But I don't know what direction or how much or what Nick played. I just know it's something that will turn the robot.
Yeah.
I played something after. You can see that it's a directional card. But I don't know if Nick's playing that, if it's a drift to the right or drift to the left, or if it's a move straight or backward or what. So there's all these different things. You're trying to suss out what you got, and everyone has to commit at least one card to the program. And there's usually a minimum you have to play total, like 5 or so. And then you see what happens. Basically, you execute your program, see where you're at now, and you can talk in between about maybe what your goal is, and then you got to go. It's incredibly fun.
Yes.
It's very cute, and it gets really challenging really fast.
It's hard. It's hard because, again, you have that information where you're like, okay, I know Mike played a turn card, and we're all like discussing beforehand, okay, we need to get here. So I'm like, okay, he played a card and then another card. I think I'm going to grab some paper towels. But
coming down just a hair because I got the sheen all of a sudden again.
I don't know what is going on. Our cameras are being soups weird.
Yeah, we like calibrated them all before, and then now
they're all blown out
different
again. It's weird.
I mean, it's nice to be bright and shiny, but I mean that's a bit much.
Yeah, it's weird. In the arms of an angel.
So now I'd go that and dip the brightness maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be blown out a little bit. You also just hold it farther away from the camera, which would help.
I could do. Maybe can you focus me up to...
Yeah.
Let me do this. Hold on, folks. We're going to see a bit of an adjustment coming.
Everything's going to get a bit crazy. Yeah, sorry. Our camera's been... The whole morning we've been battling with them. Just they look... Again, this is the exact same camera, and they look super... Now they look more or less the same because we've tinkered with it a bunch, but it's like they look so different. We're just like, what is going on? No, Gizmo! Right, you going to be about right there?
On the arms of a kitty cat.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Sweet. Alright, thanks.
I'm
So
going to grab us some paper towels.
this is going to be interesting. So the nice thing that we've experienced so far with our with the Murph, thank you for joining us for this little 3-month sort of trial time. I appreciate you. So we did some... Uh-oh. I think the dog's got into something. So the Bone Devils we started with Rum and Bones were like little skellies and stuff. That was cool. And then we were doing Scythe mechs, which were cool. And different, like doing a machine, just a vehicle. I've never done anything like that. And now we're doing like kind of a cartoony... What happened?
I don't know what this is, but they were eating it.
It's a piece of driftwood. I think it's okay, but yeah, the dogs are into it right now. And now we're doing something kind of cartoony. So this is a big different vibe where it's
big smooth.
That's just maybe one's white balance, the other is not. They're both have like a sliding scale white balance, so they're both tinkered with. It could be that. Now I'm seeing I'm showing again, but
Yeah, you just can't be that close to the camera.
I want to.
Yes.
That's where my hand goes.
We need to figure out our lighting situation and stuff.
Dogs eat just about everything. Magma Flamingo, good morning or good evening for you. And you ain't wrong. Pippin ate a wax candle yesterday.
Yeah.
Just like run of the mill day for that dog. That dude just can't be stopped.
Yeah. Accurate.
But yeah, so now we're doing this kind of cartoony. This is going to present interesting challenges. I'll call them opportunities. Where this is like a lot of this is a big. There's not a ton to these minis. Yours is more complex than mine for sure. But I've got a big, lots of smooth areas.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. And what I was kind of talking to Nick a little bit about this, about thinking like, what can I do with this? I'm thinking I could try to incorporate some idea of texture. Because it's fur. I don't want it to be like crazy, but just so that it's not just like a one big smooth, weird ball.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking about doing like an orange tabby cat.
Yeah.
Or something, or orange with stripes, kind of like a little mini tiger or something.
Yeah.
Kind of cutesy.
You could definitely do that.
Or spotty. And kind of like, so what I was thinking, and like, let me know if this is, I'm thinking about like getting your base coat on. Obviously the face will have some like little, you know, the eyes and stuff will be a bit different. Whoa! All that kind of jazz. And then kind of maybe doing like a real, like, get some white and get barely any paint on the brush and kind of just go shoo. So you get like little bits of white and it makes it really irregular.
Okay.
And just give a little bit of difference with something like that. That's what
Probably.
I'm thinking,
I don't know,
but I don't know if that's a thing.
The dry brushing you're talking about is definitely a thing. I don't think it would work on that very well because dry brushing really works if you're like doing like rocks or something like that. Because you essentially take paint on your thing, wipe off like 90% of it, and then you lightly brush it over, and it just picks out the raised edges. So it's something that's got a lot of like little edges, like something jagged. A lot of people use it for like rocks or like bases or something like that. And it looks, or fur, it looks really well. So what I would say probably is
kind of.
What I would say is probably
paint streaks.
Paint on whatever color you want, and then what we're gonna have you do, because I actually needed to practice this technique anyway for something I'm painting at home, is we're gonna essentially broad take our small nice brush, and we're just gonna go like,
You just do
that, and it's gonna end up kind of looking like fur. If you do that with some white and stuff like that, and you kind of go like,
okay,
with one of these really nice like fine tipped brushes like that,
yeah,
boom, 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 then that'll give you your texture.
Okay.
But I'd say paint and get all your shading and all that kind of stuff done first, then we'll go through and do that. Okay. So with girl here, what I'm going to do is, she's a bee, so I'm going to paint these big stripes here yellow. I'm starting with an orange, and then this is just going to be black, and then the rest of her, like her arms, I'm just going to make metallic. But so I'm starting with this orange, and then I'm going to paint probably like this kind of yellow, my like really yellow. I'm going to paint probably down to around here, and I'm going to blend that part out a little bit.
Yep. Question.
Yeah.
What color do you have there? Because I kind of want to go slightly more vibrant, but I don't want neon orange.
No, you can't. This is I
want kind of in between, closer to this, but again, this has a bit of like neon to it.
Well, then here, why don't you put a bit of those? So this is Tau Light Ochre. It's kind of a nice, kind of orangey light brown. What you can do is put this and put a teeny bit of that in it, and you can always add more of that to get the orange.
So make this my base?
Yes.
So this is going to be my base, and I'm going to try to work up in between these two.
Yes, and then you can add a little bit of the really bright orange until you get the color you want. Just don't add a ton right off the bat, because then you might end up overdoing it. And you're like, crap, that's too much.
Yeah, it's more smash brush than dry brush.
Smash brush.
Kind of smash a little on. Sass Queen, hello. Good morning.
Hi, Sassy.
Matt Flamingo says, my dog Cherry once ate my wife's face cream. Yeah.
That's just checks out Cherry.
Just dogs, man. Silly danged pups. You take them on a 3-mile walk, and they just don't care. They're like, it's not enough. And I'm like, what do you want?
Yeah, honestly, you probably need to walk them multiple times a day. Is really what it is. It's going to be they active dogs, man. You got some mini Aussies.
Well, got all that free time I have, I'm going to get on that. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
All right. No, I probably need more than that, don't I? I'm always afraid of using too much paint.
I mean, you can always add more, but like the thing is, like most of these colors I've had for years, and I have not run out of them yet. So like, I mean, don't use half the pot, but like, I would say don't worry about it too much.
So just shut up about it. So can I?
They're also like $5 or $6
What's that from?
bucks. Shut up about, so can I?
So shut up about, so can I?
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, you do.
It's League of Their Own.
Yeah. I need to get there.
Good coverage that yellow. Yeah. So this is gonna be.
So you're gonna work You said that's going to be yellow, but you're starting with an orange?
Yeah. Well, because I want the parts down here to be orange, because that would be shaded. I'm not going to do like tons of shading on this one, because they're kind of cartoony. They don't need to be like super, like, intricate and all this kind of stuff. They're fun, just kind of big minis and stuff like that. So, I'm going to have this down here, and then I'm going to put the yellow on the top of the bee and a little bit on the sides, and then this will be on the bottom. So now one thing, these don't, you can see they're not on like bases. They're on just like their own like feet. And including her, so I had to like put some sticky tack on here and then just like shove her down on there and hope it stays. And it so far right now is kind of staying. So this is going to be a bit of a process, because at some point I'm going to have to take her off of this and hold her to paint the rest. So
I don't love the color. I'm very new to mixing, and I really don't know what I'm doing.
that's why you mess around with it.
Thanks. So this one's more neon with a little bit of that. That's that with a decent amount of this, and this is not a good color to me.
Is that just the base cut? What is
this?
That?
Is this with a little bit of that? This is that with a little bit of this.
I mean, so this. What do you want from it?
I want it to be pretty orangey. I just don't want it to be like this. Like has a hint of neon to me.
Yeah, it does.
I just don't want to take the neon out, but the color quality I like on that. So I feel like that's what this is a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start painting it on and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Let's just find out, folks. Let's just make some mistakes. Let's just mess it up straight away.
Yeah.
Damn.
Color mix.
I don't mind that on there.
See, that's the thing. Is like it's like one of those things where it's like, and not to mention painting is tough, and this isn't just mini painting. This is just painting in general, because it's like, again, like oranges. Most colors are going to dry darker than they look. Especially reds. Reds dry a lot darker than they look. So when you put a red on, it looks like screaming red. Like it's just like my so red.
Look like Santa Claus.
Yeah, but then it dries and it darkens down a lot. And also you're like, oh, that's not too bad. So there's like a lot of just like kind of going off of faith. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, also just being like, well, we're going to see when it's done. And then if we have to repaint it, we have to repaint it. What's wrong?
Just, again, I've had this 2 weeks where it goes and lands in my paint. I'm like, cool. I don't know how to fix that.
He's paint over it.
Ay. Try to get it. I mean, some of it is on the cat itself, so that's okay. That's what color it's supposed to be.
Yeah, this painting situation, I forgot these things don't have bases, so I didn't bring. Really, what we should be doing is just like super gluing them to a base like this, because we can always just break that. Do you have any super glue? Well, because actually we only have one of these. Oh no, we have more over there. If you have some super glue, I'd say just super glue it to the base.
Let's see.
Because we can always just break that super glue bond.
Where would we have super glue? Or how about this? Like, want to use some of this like double-sided?
Oh, do that. Yeah, actually, that is actually perfect.
Man strip. Ha-ha!
That's actually what I'm using right now on a mini that I'm painting at home. I just double-sided taped it to something.
So at least the cat has a flat base.
Yeah, that
they
one
have
really
a
helped
base.
me.
It's just it sort of goes this way a little bit,
Perfect.
so it's a bit tricksy. So let's do this.
It'd be cool to shade them in like pop art fashion. That would be cool. Yeah, I always wanted to kind of do like just weird stuff with mini painting like that.
Merrimack says, "Hey, what's Camp Cody?" Oh, because a cup. It's like, what Camp Cody?
I was like, how do people know? What are people asking about
Camp Cody is a Boy Scout camp.
It is that Mike and I teach at.
Yeah.
Though we haven't taught the last 2 years
because of GenCon.
Because of GenCon.
Happily.
It's always the week before GenCon, and we just can't go to both.
Can't afford it.
So we actually haven't gone. We're hoping to start going to both.
Problem solving.
There you go. Yeah, so there you go. That's perfect.
Yes. All right, now we're back. So yeah, it's a Boy Scout camp up in Northern California, in the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Yeah, see, it says
I'm on the way to Tahoe.
Troop 1, baby. Troop 1 for life.
One's,
oldest
summer camp.
Oldest troop west in the Mississippi. Mike and I were both Boy Scouts.
Yeah, man.
And Mikey is an Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
Family, you wanna be fancy.
Be fancy.
I'm painting her little masky thing here.
Mask?
She's got like a little kind of...
Oh, yeah. So this is interesting. So this one's... Mine is the least robotic because it's literally just a cat riding a Roomba.
I think the cat is still a robot, though.
Oh, you think so?
If I remember
robotic.
the art, I'm pretty sure the cat's still... I think that...
Maybe.
That whole
it doesn't
thing
have, like, plating. Like, the other ones all look robotic. A
Yes,
little bit.
that
this
is
one's
true.
just a cat on a Roomba.
That is true. I could be wrong, but I think the cat is also a reboot.
It might be.
Which is cool.
We will check. We'll start plugging this now. So we, over the next couple of weeks, are going to be painting Quirky Circuits, and we're also going to be on our Mondays playing Quirky Circuits, so you can see our newly painted minis in action. Yeah. So we're painting these two because these are you don't have to go in order or anything, but as the book reveals missions, these are the first two robots you use.
Yep. Indeed. And then it's the puppy, who's like an archaeologist puppy. He goes around and like digs in the ground, digs up bones, and you have to carry him around, pick and deliver. And then this is a sweet robot sushi chef. And this one is super weird. They're all play completely differently, and it's such a good system.
It's really neat. So the sushi chef is interesting because all these robots move around. The sushi chef stays stationary, and they just spin.
Yep.
And they have one long arm, one short arm, and you have to pick up... There's little conveyor belts that move sushi around and stuff, and you have to pick up sushi and drop it off to the right person, but sometimes that person is further away, so you need it to be in their long arm.
So they have a long arm
and then you can switch things in hands and switch stuff from... Because people need to say the right thing. Rainer says, Garfield, Mike. Yeah, see, that's the main thing I want to avoid is going full Garfield. But I'm starting here, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And if it goes full Garfield, I mean, that's not a bad thing. Garfield's awesome. So, do you like Garfield? Are you a fan? Did you ever read Garfield?
I read Garfield as a kid, yeah. Yeah, I liked Garfield just fine.
Remember the show?
I said, yeah, I had to learn color mixing. Actually, the minis I received are painted, so I figured that will help me learn some color mixing. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, color mixing is tough. I specifically did black and white art for a long time because I was really, really bad at color. And I was like, now I don't have to learn color. I can just learn shading, and that's what I did, and that's what I was good at, so I just kept doing that. But now I've started breaking... Honestly, what
Have
made
you
me...
embraced it? Do you like it now?
No.
Really?
But...
You're so good at it, though.
What? Like
color.
Oh, color's fine. I still don't like mixing colors because I still feel like I'm not very good at it.
Okay.
But I've learned a lot more. Color stuff is fine. Yeah, I don't mind it. I like the style that I have, which is black and white and color, because I've always loved like Sin City, that kind of photography and stuff like that. Like I've always really loved that. So like I like what I do. Yeah. So it's. So we're gonna try.
Interesting. I'm just going all orange around, but I kind of want to give him like a white face.
Give him a white face, dude.
I gotta
It is up to you.
I know. I'm just gonna go orange to start, and then figure out some other stuff after. Get a baseline.
Yeah.
Sass Queen says, "Did Victor tell you last night on stream about our dog?"
Yeah.
No. Oh, did they?
Yeah, I had to go to the vet.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know like specifics. You just said like want to have a nice light stream, so we didn't inquire further.
Yeah,
Didn't
we know
seem
that
like-
they had to go to the vet.
Yeah, that's about it. And everything okay?
So what I'm doing here is I am painting it and then immediately wiping off my brush and then trying to feather this edge out.
What?
And so you can kind of see it. The yellow has very poor coverage because it's yellow, and so it's really splotchy, but I'm going to go over it again. But that's why you see me keep wiping off my brush and stuff, is because I'm trying to feather out that edge to try to get a smoother. Because one thing I don't want to do is I just don't want to have to like build up a ton of highlights, because these just don't really warrant it, really. Oh no, you had to put him down?
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sass Queen.
You want to explain?
Oh, I'm so sorry. We know he went to the vet, but we had no idea. Oh, we're so sorry.
Damn. That sucks. I understand why Visual was saying that. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. Man, that sucks.
Shouts out to you and yours at this time. Oh, how are the kids doing?
Yeah.
How are you doing? I mean, it's a whole family affair. I mean... Only problem with animals, man. They just don't.
Yeah, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak.
They don't.
Yeah.
I know, and like happily, but it's
yeah,
just
totally.
Like,
It's so worth it, but man,
it doesn't mean it doesn't just really hurt.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Drop bing bongs in chat for our lost pupper.
We got animals. Hug them close today.
Yep.
Hug them tight. I don't know if I'm on camera.
You are, sir.
I just scooched. I was over here.
Yeah, we need some longer. I would want to get some longer arms so we can get more on top. Because the problem is when we're doing like this, we tend to like cover up. But it's like, it's just, we're in the situation where we need to get some longer arms. The problem is it's like a lot of that stuff comes from overseas, and it's hard to get anything from overseas right now.
I know we're kind of in the stasis mode, as is everybody, where we're like, hey, we need certain like equipment and things. And we're like, we got what we got for now. And like,
yeah, and that's totally fine. Like everything works great, but it's like, yeah, they're like, oh, it'd be nice to have longer arms come. What I would love is to have something that comes around like this, so it's just really out of our way, but it makes it so you can see and stuff. So we have plans for the mini painting.
Oh, we got plans.
But and again, this is very splotchy, but I'm gonna but that's the general idea if you can see that. So I want it to be yellow, and then it's going to fade down into orange as it goes underneath her belly.
So I'm just gonna get like this.
Let's try and sculpt a tiny lasagna for the cat. That would be awesome. I don't have any sculpting stuff with me.
Be real. Are you gonna get into like building sceneries and things like hardcore?
If I had the space, yes.
Because man, Nick watches like videos on it and stuff, and so now it's in our algorithm. I started to watch it like the people.
Now the Luke Town stuff, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that?
No, I could probably not. Well, I mean, I might want to do that. I wouldn't do that very often. Have you ever seen Luke Town on YouTube? If you like diorama building, I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh, that is just horribly. It's just so insane, the stuff he does. It's so amazing. He just makes these things that look perfectly real. I mean, they're so good.
So I was gonna say it's hard for sure. Yeah, I'm glad the kiddos are doing okay, considering.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So what I'm thinking with this. You're right about the smooth surfaces. I mean, you can see.
Yeah, you're going to have to do multiple coats because it's going to be.
Do I want to do multiple coats over everything, or how much of it do you think I could hide with doing some detail stuff?
You can hide some of it. It depends on how much detail you're doing. If you're going to do that kind of like little fur thing everywhere, then you can get away with not having quite so good a coverage. But that's the thing about mini painting, like in general. Like most times you need, especially for a base coat, you need to put down at least 2 or 3 coats.
Oh my goodness gracious!
It's a long process.
So
that orange is beautiful. I agree. I like my. Actually, it's funny. We ended up having kind of a similar looking thing right now, but that's fine. I'm gonna make mine more yellow in the end. So.
Yeah, that's why I went with it because at first I was like, I gotta change a different color. I don't want to have them all look the same.
But I also wanted to put down this orange. Like this whole front face thing is gonna be yellow, but I want to put down the orange because it makes the yellow stand up a little better, and also it'll give it kind of a nice undertone as well.
Y'all need Hearst Arts miniature molds.
Huh? What?
Hearst Arts miniature molds?
Hearst Arts miniature. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I would love to do like some big diorama. And we don't really play D&D very much, but like a lot of stuff I watch is just like it's terrain and stuff, and like terrain looks like so much fun to build.
Yeah.
But it's just like you just need space. Like you need space. You want to have like because you're working with like things of foam. You need a place where you can get kind of dirty because it's like messy and stuff.
What are they called? Like
the hot wire cutters.
Yeah,
like those are super cool.
Those are so cool
because you can do everything with a it said little brush strokes with some varied values for that orange and yellow. Exactly. Shut up, Becca. You are exactly right. That's what I was telling Mikey he should do.
Yeah.
Little.
Yeah. I mean, so that's what I'm like. I'm gonna be, getting good coverage on here, but I'm not too precious because there's gonna be some stuff in the face. I'm gonna have a lot more.
I think a second coat. Yeah, exactly.
White on the cheeks and stuff like that, and all that. Then like more sporadic and stuff.
I'll do a second coat, and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
You don't need more.
Now should I just go for that right now, or
how wet is it still?
I mean, the back end's not wet, really.
You can probably get away with it. So paint the stuff that's dry, then hopefully the other stuff will dry out while you're painting that.
Yeah, we're kind of back forward.
Yeah.
And then, because like I'm gonna do the inside of the ear is gonna be kind of pink nose, pink tongue. I'll do a little bit of black, and then I'll make the teeth white, eyes white, and then probably black in the middle of the eyes.
Eyes white
blue
shut,
or something. Yeah, eyes white shut, dude. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't do the whole dang cat. I should do some of this Roomba, right? I don't know. No, keep after it. Stick to the plan.
So now as I feather this out, because I did that kind of splotchy, crappy undercoat, it should make the blend a little bit better when I feather it out as it is.
Feather it out as well. You understand? You need to feather it. Make yourself like a bird.
Because I got a bit of a feathering undercoat underneath it, which is going to make that a little bit smoother, as you can see right there. So feathering I don't do very often because I just tend to not be very good at it, to be completely honest. It's just, some people just go boom, they just feather stuff out, it looks perfect. I'm always like, I don't know how to do that. The main thing I do at this point is I either do like wet blending or I do a lot of glazing now. Glazing particularly is like my friggin' squeeze.
What's glazing?
Glazing is you take a color and you thin it down a lot. I usually do it with I have these inks here. Because I didn't know if we were going to need them, so I just brought them. Take an ink, or you can take a paint, or what I do with that now is a lot of times with contrast paints, and you thin them down a lot to the point where they're like thinner than a wash.
What?
And essentially what you'll do then is you then do what's called glazing over it, and you glaze over whatever you want, and what it's going to do, it's going to very, very slightly tint the color to whatever color you want. So you can use it to boost up colors, in some of that. And then, but also what you can do is spots that are the transition from one color to another or shade to another, you can glaze over that spot, and because it tints it very, very slightly, you have to do sometimes 20 layers because they're so thin, but because they're so thin, you can build them up very slowly, and you can get these incredibly smooth transitions. The big lieutenant dude I did on the dragon dog, his cloak is really, really smooth. That's because I glazed over the whole thing with purplish pink, which brings the whole colors together. Or what you can do if you wanted to give something a tint. So say I had something that's a big blue cloak, but I kind of wanted to have a touch of green in it. Not a lot. I might take a really, really thin green glaze and glaze over it, and it's going to just touch it to that green a little bit.
So just almost like you can't really see if you see it.
Yeah, exactly. Or what I usually use it for is what I've been doing this more and more and more is it's sometimes hard to get, because you want a lot of contrast. You want really dark and really light in the same mini, because that's what makes stuff pop out, makes stuff look really good. So it's sometimes hard to do that because as you get lighter, a lot of times you can just add white, but that's going to take out a lot of the color. Especially with something like a red. So what I'll do, and what I've been doing a lot lately, is I kind of don't really worry about color that much. I'll start really dark red, go up to dang near white, and then I glaze over it with red, and it takes all that white and tints it red. So then it's just a really, really light red. And it makes it look really red. And so...
You're blowing my mind.
Yeah,
it's trying to picture.
So glazing is my jam. I'm gonna be glazing yellow all over this, all over the yellow parts here, and it's gonna smooth out those transitions, and it's gonna make the yellow pop out even more. So yeah, glazing. I don't really like feathering that much. I'm doing it here because I would like to try to get through most of this today. So,
Feathering, I imagine, is a quicker process as
it is.
Require 50 layers.
Indeed. But it is not as smooth.
I mean, that's
hopefully
cool to have that much control with the glazing, where if say it does take 20 layers, to have, you can do 1/20th of that intensity and have that kind of control.
Yeah, and that's the whole point, is you have
amazing.
ultimate control over whatever it is you're doing.
That's cool.
You can bring it down, and then you can glaze, you get kind of like a pink or a red or something like that, and then you glaze some blue on top of that, and then it's got a little bit of purplish. I mean, glazing, you can do amazing stuff with glazing. And with the main thing it does, for me at least, is it smooths out all your transitions.
Love it.
And that is huge.
So this guy on the camera looks very orange, and you would never mistake this cat for anything other than orange, but it's not quite as insane looking as it is under the light.
This one picks up the colors.
And it's drawing a little more matte, so I'm just going to give it a second. With that, even that second coat, it is much more covered already.
2 coats, usually for the base.
2 coats is probably good, given that I'm going to do some detail. So yeah, I like what Shut Up Becca said about doing like a bit of yellow and white and stuff, so that it's there's a lot of variation and stuff. Just like my dog.
Both your
Pippin
dogs.
is not just black and white.
No, he's got a lot of color to
and all
him. I mean, Mary, of course,
all over
is covered in color,
all over the joint.
Because what? She's a blue. What's she called?
Blue Merle.
Merle, that's what it is. Blue Merle, red Merles, right?
Yeah, Blue Merle, Red Merle,
and then Pippin.
Red tries, black tries.
Is he a black try? Mm-hmm. He's got great eyebrows.
Very expressive. Pippin is very handsome.
He's a very handsome boy. Mary's very pretty, but Pippin's very regal, handsome.
Very regal, very handsome on his own right.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that's going to be the first layer of that yellow.
I'm trying to think of how to do this Roomba. I don't want to make it super boring, but I think I'm just going to kind of do like a little two-tone gray vibe or something. Sort of matte gray for some of it. I mean, it's a Roomba.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't need to be like silver, yeah. You can do that.
Right? Yeah. What do you think? Something like that? I mean, I could do some silver. It's just like...
You can do some silver tinge. I don't think you should just make the whole thing silver, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of up to you what you want to do. I mean, you could do like the...
You could do like the little stripes as a silver...
Yeah, you could do like the rest of it in like kind of like just a standard, like Mechanically standard gray, which is that kind of middle gray right there on the very top. Mm-hmm. One over. That one right there. You do like that. That's kind of like your general, just like very mid-tone gray. And then do silver on top of that. Or, I mean, you could make it colorful. It's really up to you. It's a Roomba. I think it can really kind of be whatever you want.
Oh. Do you have a color scheme for them in mind, says Becca? Just mainly for the cat. I mean, it was mostly I want to do the orange with the kind of like the little stripies and just different sort of texture. I want to make it look like it's got kind of textured fur a little bit.
It's called winging it. That's my color scheme.
Yeah, and with the Roomba, again, as I was just sort of saying, like gray. I could do almost like gray with like some purple stripes. Maybe make it a little colorful and fun.
So you can see. So now you can see Mikey. So it's like it goes down to that kind of darker orange, and it just gives it that little bit. It's a little darker under here. It's not like dark. It's not like black, you know. But it's like it's just a little bit darker.
That's cool.
Underneath there, and then I'm gonna glaze it all with yellow.
Gonna make it a dragon? Never.
I
mean, I'll put like a little like wings on it, so it looks like a little cat dragon.
Cat dragon.
Winging it's the best. I mean, it's treated us well so far. You know, not bad.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're getting great. I mean, we were just fawning over your mechs and stuff yesterday.
Yeah, I've gotten a
do you feel like
you've
grown, or you feel like you're more comfortable?
Definitely.
I mean, either day you're like, I think I want my own brushes, and I was like, ooh, Mikey wants some good brushes.
Yeah, man, because these brushes have been worked for some time.
They've been used for a couple of years.
It's not a problem. I wanted to cut my teeth on something it's the whole like, you know, your first ever car
should be crappy.
Because you're going to hurt it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be as good to it as you ought to be.
I don't care how rich you are. Your first car should be a junker.
You're going to jack it up anyway. And so it's like, I want some brushes that are like, I don't want to ruin a good brush because I don't have good technique.
Yeah.
Like if you have a manual like I did, it's like you're probably going to burn out a clutch at some point because you're just not as
you know what you're doing.
Yeah, as you should be. They're well loved. Yes.
Did I not bring the thing? I didn't. What? I didn't bring my little palette that has the little dishes in it. So I'm going to take this yellow, which is very yellow, and I'm going to glaze with this yellow ink. I could, just use the inside of this, I guess.
So, okay.
Now, the glazing, again, is going to take quite a few layers, although not too many for this. So having old nasty brushes can be useful too. They're great for texturing. Exactly. I like using old brushes.
He has a whole mess of them.
Yeah, a whole mess of them. I use them for especially like terrain stuff, or I use them for like washes where I don't have to be like super precise or anything like that. So I'm basically going to put out a little bit of yellow here, and I'm just going to add a butt ton of water. Yeah, no, you want old nasty brushes. They're great for texturing.
Sometimes when I'm painting something very like close to something and I want to be very careful, I can't help but feel like Gollum when he first shows up and he's trying to get to the ring. He's like really close. Like,
no, didn't Rosie send us a meme like that with Chaz? Chaz did, yeah. It's like it's like someone painting a space marine. It's like here, and then it punches in, and it punches the goal. And he's like like that. It's so perfect.
So true. You get up here, like,
so accurate.
He's doing so much effort, so you can do so little.
And it sucks because like the harder you're trying to stay still, the more you shake and stuff like that.
You really can't think about it too much. You just kind of got to be like, well, I'm going for it.
That's a smooth cat right there.
It's not bad. Now it's pretty
smooth. Yeah, I'd say 2 coats. You usually need 2 coats.
I mean, for being a giant smooth object, I'm pretty happy. Like, I don't see a ton of brush.
And here's the thing. It's like one of those things we were talking about with the my little scythe game. Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of people don't really shade those minis when they paint them, and they don't really need it. They look fine because they're kind of cartoony. Like, these really don't need to be shaded. Yeah. They'll just look cooler if they are shaded. But it's like they don't really need it. So I'm going to take my yellow here, and I'm basically going to just paint over all this stuff with this yellow. And then I'm going to start painting other stuff right now. But I'm going to continually be coming back and glazing, and what that's going to do is punch up this yellow for one. It's hopefully going to smooth out everything. Although this is very, very thin, so I may need to punch this up for expediency's sake. And it's one of those things like glazing, it's hard to notice the difference until you've done a decent amount of it.
That's what I was going to say.
You know, it's
like,
like,
know if you're doing anything.
You just kind of got to go layer by layer slowly and stuff like that. Like I said, when I'm glazing, I glaze and do other stuff. So I'll be painting something else, and then once the spot that I glazed was dry, I'll come back and do another coat, and then I'll go continue painting something else on the mini, and then come back. There's no point in you like sitting here waiting for it to dry.
Yeah.
Like it's just Does it
dry pretty quick though?
Yeah, because it's really thin. Yeah, because the more water you add to a paint, the quicker it dries. That's one of the reasons, especially with how much we thin out our paints, we really kind of need a wet palette because your paints dry very, very quickly the more water you add to them. And so we will struggle with that continually. And so even on a wet palette, I still struggle with that's one of the reasons why I have this so wet is because I still struggle with stuff drying out on me.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm always telling them, like, am I doing something wrong? I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't have it with me, but there's something called, like an airbrush flow improver. What is it? It's a retardant, so it slows down the drying time of paint. And you put it in an airbrush so it doesn't clog up your airbrush, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
But I've kind of taken, especially if I know I'm going to be working with a color for a while, because, like, right now, when I've been painting...
is it clear, I imagine? So it doesn't really change
it doesn't change anything on it. I've been... quality. Painting, I took a break from the Scourge of the Abyss because I just wasn't inspired this weekend and I didn't want to paint it. But I wanted to paint something, so I started doing a bit of Grim Forest.
Oh, cool. What from Grim Forest?
I didn't know what to paint first. I didn't want one of the big ones, and I didn't want one of the pigs, because the pigs I want to spend a lot of time on. Not a lot of time on, but more time on because they're the main characters. So I did like the Big Bad Wolf.
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
This is kind of classy, you know? And so far it's going good.
That's so cool.
But, why was I talking about? What were we talking about?
You were talking about the retardant.
Yeah. So him, I've been really trying to like start really dark and then move to really light and like just a ton of different layers of like moving up slowly. But the problem is I'm using one color and essentially adding more lighter color to it, but it's like it's just been a
So it's just
struggle
on the palette for a long time.
Yes, and it's just been a struggle to get it to not dry out on me, even with a wet palette.
That's crazy.
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna paint the inside of this whole thing black. So old girl's got, he looks like a bee, cause she's a bee.
Yeah. I'm just getting around this to try to get some of the closer to the cat business done before I like do all of the cat. That way, if I make a crucial mistake or I don't do the whole cat and then like hit a gray and like my life is ruined. So.
Yep, smart man. I do not do that very often. I tend to paint something completely and then start something else and then immediately touch it and go, oh, I gotta do the whole part over again. I do that a lot.
Yeah, I'm slow enough with no mistakes. So
wet palette is next on my bouquet list. Keeping mixed paints wet in Phoenix is basically impossible. Yeah, and that's the thing is like I live in Santa Clarita. It's really dry and really hot, and so my stuff dries out much quicker, even inside my apartment. But yeah, I mean, Dirth, you're in Phoenix. You understand? You know, it's like
you know what's up. The sun lives there.
It is where it spawns. You were born in it. I was born in it. You merely adopted the sun.
Every dude in Arizona.
I live in Yuma, Dirth, and paint for a living. I feel that desert struggle so hard. Shut up, Becca. Do you paint minis for a living? Is that what you do for a living?
Oh God, if you do, then
or are you like a painter?
I'm very terrified now because I'm just absolute a dog doo.
I primarily paint outside. Why? Because I'm a terrible masochist. Now I work in a studio. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I don't remember you being a mini painter. I knew you mini painted. Yeah, I like painting outside too. And we live in California. We've always lived in like hot parts of California, like Sacramento. We've always lived in valleys, basically.
Comrade says, only positive living in Florida, 9,000% humidity.
Yep, you ain't wrong.
You got to dry your paints. You got to add like baking powder, dry them out.
Dude, seriously, it's a big issue.
Getting wetter all the time.
Critter Howler, what's up, Critter Howler? Said, so I am a beginner. I was told when starting to paint as you would put clothes on. Start at the bottom, most layer, and then build up to the top. I don't see that here. Is that not a good general rule? No, that is a good general rule.
I'm a beginner too. I have no idea what I'm doing. So that's why I'm going probably all backward. Don't follow me, follow him if you want instruction.
It depends on what you're doing. And it depends on how much time you're going to... I mean, really, here's the thing. There's no right way to paint. Putting paint on a mini, that's the right way to paint. But nonetheless...
You just got to find your way.
But nonetheless, it depends. I tend to not do that. Maybe I should do that, honestly. I just don't. I kind of paint whatever I want to paint first. Whatever I'm most excited to paint first. I usually paint whatever I think is going to be the hardest thing for me to do. I usually paint
You've always kind of worked that way with your art. You go through the challenges first.
I want to go through the challenge.
You want to know if you blow it early and you get out.
If I need to throw something. I mean, yeah, exactly. I did that when I used to do pen and ink art. Yeah. One thing I like about pen and ink art, and especially also with Copic markers, what I use is like it's very unforgiving, which I actually really like about it because it challenges me. Not saying like painting isn't unforgiving, it is, but it's like you like this, I can just paint over this. Like if I don't like this black, I can paint over it. It might take a bunch of layers because it's black, but I can just change the color. It's not a big deal. Painting is not infinitely forgiving, but tends to be more forgiving, any kind of painting. Because in the end, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Okay, I'll just paint over it. With markers or with pen and ink, you can't do that. You get one shot at it. So I learned very quickly to do the thing that's going to be hard first, because there's been times where I've waited, gotten to the hard part last because I was scared of it, and then screwed it up and had to throw out the entire drawing that I literally spent like 20 or 30 hours on. So for me, I tend to pick whatever I think is going to be the hardest part first, but I also pick whatever I want to do the most. Like right now, I wanted these yellow stripes because I think those are going to look really fun and cool, and so I did those first. But generally, yeah, you probably should. Not to mention, because a general rule in painting is you always, well, not always, do whatever the heck you want, let's be honest. But you generally want to draw attention to the face of whatever it is you're painting, which means you should pretty much always have the most detail in the face. You should spend the most time on the face. I don't. But you always want to be drawing stuff back to the face. And a general rule of painting is the closer it is to the face, the more detail it gets. The farther away from the face, the less detail it gets. It's like a focus of a picture. If something is behind you and blurry, you're not going to focus on it.
Yeah, you want to draw your eye to what you want.
So a lot of people
you want your audience to see.
Do that bottom up thing because they start at the feet or whatever, because the feet you want the least focus on. So you start there. To be fair, when I'm painting like boots, something like that, I don't put much effort in it. I paint them black. You know, if I'm doing like, we would do like Rum and Bones boots. Black, maybe a highlight, if I feel like it. But I spent one more time on the cloak, because I like painting cloaks.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, this is cool, and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. It really just depends. Alrighty, so now I got...
The short answer is whatever you like, whatever works for you is plenty good enough.
One thing I've learned about art in general is there's a lot of people, especially on like YouTube, and now granted this gets you views, so I totally get why they do it, but there's a lot of this is how you do this. Nah, do whatever you want. Bob Ross is very, as Sliver said, Bob Ross is right, always, in general. Just in general, Bob Ross is perfect and right. But it's like, it's your world, make it however you want. I can make this be just whatever color I want. It's one of the reasons why I've always steered away from like factions in like 40K and stuff like that have to be a certain color.
When you say they have to be, I've asked this before, what do you mean? Like, why?
Well, it's just like if you're painting like Chaos Space Marines or like those Khorne Demons we're doing, like they're supposed to be red.
Oh,
like they are supposed to be red. Like their color scheme is red. And it might even be to the point, and I'm not 100% sure because I don't play 40K or anything like that.
Might not accept
they might not accept it if they're not the right color.
So
whereas something like
boring,
I always collected Tyranids because they could be any color. And so the paint schemes are always so much more fun because people can do whatever they want. But it's like if you're painting Ultramarines, there's literally a color, I don't think I have it, but there's a color called Ultramarine Blue because that's what color those are. And it's like, you know, there's literally Khorne Red, you know, and it's like, now granted there is Gene Stealer Purple. Gene Stealer is a part of the Tyranids, so there's still that too, but like you can make Tyranids whatever color you want. As far as I can tell, it does not matter.
That's so incredibly odd to me. Now granted, I'm not into 40K as a game and all this and that, and it's a style, it's a whole thing. But it's just weird to me to like give you this thing. It's like you have to, they don't paint them for you. If they have to be a certain color, then they should just be made and colored and all that the way that they are.
That's gonna be
because the whole thing of like 40K and Warhammer and all that stuff is like, isn't it the hobby, the building and the art, and then you take away the ability to make it art?
I mean, not really. You can still do whatever you want, I guess, but it's just
like, if you want to do in certain terms, like,
yeah. And I don't know
like,
if that's actually the case. Like if you show up with blue Khornes, I don't actually know if they won't.
It all depends on the people, but I'm like, y'all are missing the point if that's the case.
But at the same time, there's a lot of people who like the fact that there's kind of this rigidity to it. Which I don't. I like mini painting. One of the reasons I like mini painting.
If you're going to force it to be a certain thing, then just make it for me. I'm not going to do that. I made my Khorne blue. Like, I'm the guy that did that because I was like, no, I don't want to make it red.
That is true. You did make your Khorne blue.
No. Out of defiance, I say. Probably the bottom let's be black. That's kind of sloppy Joe'd it, but that's okay. Because I'm going to go in all the little details and do purple.
So it's a little sloppy with my black, so I'm going to touch it up. But, that purple specifically, and then I'm gonna touch up and then keep glazing. But
so it says, Mike, this one I disagree on. There's a sport to them when entering tournaments. Painting differently would give an advantage? I have no idea how.
Why would it give it an advantage?
It hurt someone's eye or something? It'd be akin to putting different colored jerseys on a team. Okay, here's the thing. But Tom Brady doesn't have to make his jersey. They just give it to him. That's what I'm saying. Don't make me make my jersey if you're going to tell me what it's going to be. Got him!
Well, but here at the same time, okay, but there's a lot of tournaments that will not allow you to play an army unless it's painted. Do you think that's cool?
No.
All right, that's fair.
Not at all. What if you can't afford paint? I can't I mean, that entire hobby is pay to play. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
No, I think it's a fair point.
It's just weak, and I just don't get why. Like, I'm gonna draw skulls, and you're gonna be like intimidated by my arms. Oh, there's skulls on there, man. Like I don't get it. But I'm also not in it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, and that's the thing is like, just from an outsider, I'm like, as someone who doesn't know anything, I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. If I got in it, maybe it would start to make sense. I don't know.
It's
I'm
a
just the
bee.
outsider.
It's a bee, Mario. I wish I was more careful when putting on the black. I wasn't, and now Nick's
Black
paying
is
for
pretty
it.
permanent.
Black is hard to cover up with yellow.
It's famously the Sharpie color for a reason.
But that's how the bee looking. We got some bee. Got a little bit of shading on that bee. So that's one thing that's nice. It's like you can do a little bit of shading, and it just adds a little bit of color, a little bit of difference. You know? And it's nice. You know, so we got some darker stuff under here, and then we got the yellow on the back, and it just gives that, like, it's definitely more yellow here than it is there, you know? And it's just like...
This rainbow's taking longer than I thought it would.
It said, no, it's for clarity. You could easily overlook a minion if it isn't red. That's fair. You could think something was something else if it was painted a different color or something like that.
Well, I'm not talking about, like, having your army be, like, all multicolor. Like, I get that. But, like, if you had a color scheme for your team and you had, like, this whole thing, like, that would make it harder. I mean, red's, I guess, more visible. I don't know. Like I said, I'm the absolute novice in that area. I can't speak with any expertise. What to do? I'm just scared of the feathering bit, so...
The feathering bit? What are you talking about?
Or, you know, getting the texture, whatever.
Oh, So how do you want? Do you still want to do stripes and stuff, or what are you trying to do?
Yeah, I kind of want to do... Well,
add another
stripes,
layer
but
of
it's kind of more like texture-y stuff. Not like clear defined stripes necessarily. But like what you were showing when you were showing me that, and it's kind of like little irregular lines and things like that.
Just a little fur, yeah.
Little kind of furry things and like kind of yellows and whites, or you know, kind of a yellow white. Even probably won't be like pure white. So because again, I'm only saying this in a competitive arena. Word. I guess it matters, and I guess if they're into it, they probably like it to be the colors and stuff. And like, let's be real, I would never go into a competitive arena bar for Rue. That's just not the thing I would want to do. But yeah, that's why I can make my blue corn demons. Yes,
they look cool. Yeah. Well, that's why, like, I if I was painting,
sorry for getting all highfalutin there. I was just like, I don't get it. I don't approve.
That's totally fine. I said, nor would I. Yeah.
Make him a whirl tabby. You have the ability, I believe. Darth, I appreciate...
A whirl tabby?
I appreciate the confidence. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Let me see.
Thank you.
Let me search whirl tabby, because I think that's what's in here. And I can picture it here, but this is one of those things that I'm worried, right? Because this is why I've never gotten that deep into art. Whirl tabby. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Adorable. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. See, it's like not...
it's kind of stripy. Yeah, it's like Rowdy.
Stripy.
Rowdy was that way.
Yes, 100%.
You could do that. That's probably easier than painting like stripes.
Yeah. I think so.
Because essentially what you should do is like take your whatever color, your light color, your white or yellow or whatever, and just kind of make like in kind of like
so that's what I'm talking about dry brushing was the idea is like I want to sort of okay.
And that because whirl tabbies kind of have stripes, but they're not like tiger stripes, distinct. You can kind of go like it's sort of not crappy. Like I'm trying to show you and some paint to the side, but and something like that you could do like stripes like that around.
And I can just sort of go like...
Or you can just put texture all over.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
As long as you're following the general rules of like how fur goes on a cat, it'll look fine. Which basically means... So how fur goes on most animals is...
Like in a direction? Like
yes. So basically, around the nose, around the eyes, all the fur is going to be going out. So
would that mean I want my brush strokes to go that direction?
Yes, you want like that. Okay. But then all around the back, it's all... When you get back here, you're going to go boom, and then down, and then, I mean, around the legs, I'm not entirely sure, just go down. But the main thing with the face is it goes out. Everything goes out, not like all back
make it an inward cat.
Inward. I mean, do whatever you want.
No, that'd be crazy. Somebody says, I'm hypothesizing it also helps from an audience perspective, too, as it allows you to easily identify which factions are being played. Yeah, I guess uniformity, whatever it is helpful for... I mean, like you said, like you can tell that's a corn demon because it's red, right? I just want rainbows! All rainbow factions. Is there a rainbow faction? I'm going to be that faction. Just crazy. Technicolor.
Make them get Tyranids. You can make whatever color you want.
I'm into it. Okay.
That's because like so many chapters, they have such specific colors. I'm like, no, I want whatever color I want. But that's the only problem at the same time. How many Tyranids have I painted? Basically none. Because I can't decide on a color scheme. I can't. I just, because I'm like, this is going to be my whole army. And I can't change it. Like, I need it to be the same color scheme. Like,
what do you think of Wraithbone as my white?
Wraithbone's good. It's got a little bit of... No, you don't want white. I'd say go with Wraithbone. Because it's got a little color in it. It's got a little bit of brown in it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And I'll go with some yellow that I might like get a little bit of this in it just to get a little
probably
closer
want
to
a
white.
teeny bit of dark in there, too. Not a lot of dark.
Into this?
Well, just with fur.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to do like little stripy stripes.
So would that be maybe like a brownish?
Maybe like a brown. You could do like maybe like XV88 with like a little bit of that orange.
I could go with that even.
That might be a little too close. It might not be
too
fun.
dark.
I don't know.
Or say it's XV80, yeah.
Maybe. And so what I would do is do the brown everywhere.
Okay.
Then
I'll go light. Work light.
Then choose where you want to put your light stuff.
Okay.
So go basically everywhere. And then after that, choose where you want to put your light.
I'm so scared.
Don't be scared. And first of all, use this brush.
Oh, that's the good stuff. Moving up.
Good. That's that good.
Look at that edge.
Look at that so tight. So remember, when you're doing paint, this is very important for this specifically. When you're doing paint, you pull and you turn.
Yeah, I've been doing that with my crack brushes.
But now crack brushes can come to a point. You know?
Mine comes to a slight poof.
But that's that brush. That's not you. So just a little, it'll make it brown. Yeah. So you don't want to put like every but just some brown everywhere, and then choose where you want.
No, I'm so scared.
Do it. I'm so proud of you. Everyone, drop big bongs in chat for Mike.
It's gonna ruin a mini real quick. It's fine. That's how you learn.
Sometimes you got Sometimes you got to ruin a mini, man. It does happen. I done it.
Literally terrifying.
So I'm just trying to cover up the stupid black. Okay, I'm gonna paint her little, I don't know, just this little bump right here. These little, I'm gonna call them ears, even though I don't think they're ears. I'm gonna put these black, and the rest of her I might do silver.
You can paint. Yeah, you can paint over. That's a good point. You're right. You
can always paint over. You can put that base coat back on, and all that goes away. I'm so proud of you, Mike. Just confidence, baby. When you're doing small stuff, confidence. Just and just remember, just the 2 hairs and some air, as Bob Ross would say. 2 hairs and some air, baby. That's all you need.
That's what I'm worried about. Not
just don't do. You know, just like Mike. Yeah, boom, 2 hairs and some air, baby. Boom, barely touching. 2 hairs and some air. 2 hairs and some air. Yeah. So proud of you. Here's the thing: the faster you go, the probably better it'll be. Okay. Don't try like make a straight line, because it's just kind of like
I don't want a straight line.
Yeah.
Steve says, Mike, pick a color. The other day, a big poodle went by that had a red mohawk, and all 4 paws were dyed pink. West Hollywood.
That's right, baby. Love we ho.
Painted on like a whisper. Jesus. But how big? How big are the lines?
Like width or length?
Length.
As much as you want. It's probably short. It's not a big cat, and cats don't have long fur.
Jesus. Lord. I don't even know if I'm painting it.
That's good. Paint it on like a wisp. The paint can't feel your fear, so strike with confidence. I like that.
I appreciate you.
What a good way of putting that. Can't be so strike with confidence. Oh, what a good way of putting that. All right, so we got our bee here. She's so cute. All right, yeah, so a little color variation in there. I'm still glazing to make it more yellow.
I'm literally not breathing. I'm just...
I do that too. I go, I do that all the time when I'm
I
painting.
should be like a sniper and do a slow exhale, but I can't.
Oh, no. Can't do that. That's too much. So, again, I still have my glaze going here. So, again, every once in a while, I'm just going back and putting a glaze on top, which, again, is going to yellow up this orange a little bit and smooth out my crappy feathering. Because my feathering was garbage. Girl. So after this stream, by the way, if you don't know, Paula and Matthew are going to be doing a bit of streaming. We got TGIB Morning, as Mikey said earlier. I believe they're playing... I know they're playing Cartographers with the chat at some point. I can't remember what they're playing before that, but I know they're playing something before that, and then they're playing Cartographers with that chat live. So, make sure to stick around for that. We got TGIB Morning taking over. New freaking CEOs of Gen Con over here.
Boom, you're welcome.
It's like a joint CEO because we're all part of This Game's Broken. And they do not like it. But nonetheless, stick around for them because they are good at it. If I ever painted a mini, I would totally set up some odorless paint thinner and beating station so I could beat the devil. You need the smallest one because these are so small. He I love how much joy he gets from beating the devil out. He's a man of the Lord.
Oh, man.
How you doing? That was great.
Yeah, it was alright. Like better when
See, it's just a little bit of that texture, baby.
It's a little heavy-handed, but I'm okay with it. Like, it looks cool for sure.
Durden said, I spend all my time with math and programming. When someone says, make it however you want, it makes my brain shut down. And that's one thing. There's probably a lot of people who like the fact that corn are always red. Because a lot of people, like, they clutch up when they're like, I have to think of the thing.
That's
like,
right. That's a fair point.
So it's like some people...
I forget that obviously I'm a genius creative, so...
Obviously, Mike's a creative.
I call myself that, so it's cool. If you call yourself it, people think you're really cool.
I'm gonna
it's the coolest.
Lead Bell Share, I believe that's what it's pronounced. Share is favorite color. It's not that easy sitting here.
Dude, just a tinge on the face, but I want most of the face to be lighter.
That's fine. Again, you want the
happy with this. I mean, like,
darker is gonna it looks good.
Like, once you get some more stuff, and it's all kind of then it's gonna be pretty red.
Again, it's just a little bit of texture. Just a little bit of texture, which is gonna make it. It just makes people go like, "Ooh, look at the fur," you know. Same reason why I had this little bit of shading here. It's just like it goes like, "Oh, that's nice." It's definitely a different color down there. You know, you can see, especially like out of the light. Really, you can really see like the difference. Like, oh yeah, it definitely gets darker around there. You know, and that's the point. We do this to let people who play games with us know they're inferior. Because we paint.
Like, oh my god, did Picasso paint these? These are so professionally done. I'm like, I'm sorry, that was me. That's my third mini ever. Boom.
And Quicksand, I think, asked if we were going to paint before and after pictures. We forgot to take before pictures, but we definitely will the next ones. Sorry. That was like an hour ago they asked that. For some reason, it just popped back into my head, so sorry.
Quicksand's like, I left a long time ago.
It said, oh, do you want to hear why painting is so difficult to me? Because it causes me anxiety, so I don't do it. I do want to know. But it's so because you love minis games, too. So I'm always like, oh, Slivers, I wish you could paint.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday, baby.
And maybe just like, you know.
Wow. Sorry. One thing I forgot to do is with the glazing, you need to make sure you're sopping up the excess, or else it'll go down to the farthest area down and make that part awkwardly glazed. So just BT dubs. How you doing? That's good.
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. So now should I go to yellow?
Sure.
They can tell you, make it to slap that color on there. That's true. So it says, okay, my brain works backward. I see conclusions, answers, outcomes easily based on a conclusion of millions of very, very quick thoughts.
So is it this because it's like this is unsure and you kind of have to adapt on the fly? Is that what it is? So I'm going to paint like probably the rest of her silver. This lead belcher. Then I'm probably going to put a wash on it to get into the grooves because she's got like these, you know, these grooved arms here and stuff like that. It'll make it look real cool.
It's made it look real awesome.
And then I'll come back with some lighter silver and highlight it a bit. And then while I'm doing that, I'll probably keep working on her back here because I want her yellow to look real good. And then that's going to be it. These are going to be pretty simple. You know, we're probably only going to spend one session on each of these. We might finish them afterwards on our own kind of thing. But yeah, it's one good thing. It's like you can do, especially with a little bit of experience, you can do like a cool paint job pretty darn quick. And now we're going to have an awesome painted version of Quirky Circuits. And again, it lets people know that we're better than them.
Which is ideal.
That is all we want. So I had to unravel the end result layer by layer to put together either explanations of what to do, how to go about it, or just how to accomplish. Painting is about moving forward and adjusting as you go, and the backward flow totally F's up that process. That is kind of true. You're the kind of person who like deconstructs like something to figure out how it works,
Understand
kind of thing.
Take it apart to understand it.
Yeah, take it apart to understand. Is that what you're kind of saying, Slimmies? Because that is tough with mini painting, like because it's not taking apart to understand it. You can't really do that.
As always, that I've discovered with this, and I appreciate is generally I don't know what I'm doing, and ignorance is really kind of bliss.
Yeah.
I imagine there will be a point where that changes, and I start to have some skills, and then it might become more, I don't know, more or less scary because now I also know I have some skills, so I can like control what I'm doing a little bit. So maybe it won't be that bad. I don't know.
So he said, yes, I can fix something that's broken, but building something from scratch stresses me. That's fair. That's fair.
Interesting.
He said, I follow the game art because I don't want to confuse new players and I have no understanding of colors. So there you go. It is a guide. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can't just treat it as a guide. And that, I think, really does. See, I look at like the box art and go, nah, I do whatever I want. You know, I a lot of times will like make, you know, characters like different skin colors. Like I gave Alice and I gave a match really dark skin because I was like, I don't care. I'm making her dark skin. I don't give one.
Not even one.
And so it's like I like to change. And again, this is, I mean, I do art outside of painting, obviously, and so it's just like it's more like
type of thing.
I want to make this my own, so I actively, for the most part, try and not paint it like the box art, or try and not paint it how it's supposed to be painted. I actively don't, and go out of my way not to, because I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna do whatever I want. But again, that's just me being, you know, artist. So I'm painting all her little limbs here. And again, I'm going to have to kind of paint all of her underbelly. It's like stuck to this sticky tack. I'm going to have to go through and paint all that later. But that's fine.
Yeah, it's bad, dude.
So, but that's so rough. I think I can help with that. Is an underpainting, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Mumbo Italiano's in my head, and I don't know why.
Hey, mumbo Italiano, hey, mumbo. Sing it everyone's head, don't worry about it.
It is very catchy.
Yep.
See, this is why I've started to do this thing where, like, I used to do it where I base coated everything and then did all my highlights. And that way, when I did my base coat, if I touched other parts, it wasn't a huge deal because it's just the base coat. But I've been doing this thing where I've been, like, painting things basically to completion and then started completely on another part of it. It just means that, like, I'm so terrified of touching this yellow now. Because I'm like, no, this part's already basically done. I don't want to have to redo it. This is why I should go back to the way I used to do things. But I hate base coating. That's my thing. It's like, it's my least favorite thing in painting.
The only part that's acceptable in painting.
It like that? Is it shaking well? Is it shaking well? Is it shaking well? Italiano. I could probably do a Bob Ross painting now as I've watched episodes thousands of times. My brain can go forward and backward from familiarity. Yeah, exactly. So you know the end product. You can just kind of just like, all right, I can still kind of work backwards, at least in my own head. What's a hobby everyone would love to do, but you just don't have the time or the space for it? I would love to do terrain building and woodworking.
Same. Woodworking would be great.
Yeah. Or the money for it, I suppose, too.
Yeah.
You might be like, I want to play 40K. I don't have the money for that. Which is fair. Woodworking says, shut up, Becca. Yeah, I hear you, Bex. We hear you. However, may try washing some minis. The final outcome is derived in that one step. And honestly, like a prime and a wash, like do a gray primer, or I guess you could just wash the gray minis, and then a wash. I mean, look at like Unmatched or Mechs vs. Minions. They look great. Like,
yeah,
you don't need much, and then they do. They look so much better. I have the time and space, not the monies. Yeah, woodworking. I mean, it depends on what you're doing with woodworking. Tools can get very expensive, but you can always do some like really, just hand tool kind of stuff. See, we have the time. I mean, we always have the time. We're always like, I don't have time for that. Yeah, you do. You just got to decide to
prioritize.
You got to decide to do that. Use the time you have for that. Saying you don't have time, for the most part, is always incorrect. You're just choosing to spend that time on something else, which is fine. But it's like people complain constantly, I want to do this one day at a time. It's like, yes, you do. You have the time. You're just choosing not to do it, which is fine. But, just don't complain about you not having time. But for us, especially with like woodworking, like it's space. Like you need to have a place to work. And, I can't do that in my bedroom. And that is,
that'd be loud.
Just in there, just rallying. Nope, Nick's woodworking again. I think I'm going to make her propellers here yellow and black as well. I was about to say Garfield? Kinda. Why not?
Garfieldy. Kind of look like a
Oh, it's good. I love it. Oh, that texture's nice.
Yeah, it's all right. The white got a little heavy-handed here.
Yeah, but you can always go back and touch up the white with some orange or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of a Garfield vibe. I'm into it, though. It's fun.
Yeah, I like it. Music, said Dearth. I miss practicing my sax, but I don't think my neighbors would appreciate me. You gotta just not care.
I'd play the drums again for sure.
Yeah, you were good at the drums too.
If
Yeah,
I had a space, and you need a soundproof space. Like,
yeah.
Then I would super do that. I would love to get back to that someday.
Yeah, that's a totally good point. And guitar too. I mean, you can still play, of course, but
yeah, I play once in a while. I've been meaning to play more often, just as a hobby thing, just for fun. Mm-hmm. And Karen's actually gonna start learning guitar, so we're gonna put some stickers on mine so she can start to play. So
cool.
That might get me inspired to.
You've had that guitar for a while now.
Yeah, who bought me that guitar?
Me.
Yeah, you did. No, probably one of my very best gifts ever.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I've had that thing for a
long time. That's why I was like, man, you had that thing for a minute.
I don't know.
It was back in SAC.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that 13 years minimum.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Just touching a bunch of stuff I don't need to be touching.
Backend's just bad. It's all bad.
Boo. See, I'm totally unmusical. I like to sing. I'm not musical at all when it comes to any kind of instrument. I like to sing, but that's about as far as my music. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. This one. I learned to not say choosing not to do it, instead say choosing to do something else. It's far less negative on people's state of mind. That's totally fair. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're choosing to do this instead, which is, again, that's why I kept saying, like, which is totally fine. It's just like you could choose the other thing. You're just not, and that's okay. It's just, you're just choosing to do this. But yeah, it's like in general, it's like, it's not, unless, again, it's like one of the things because there are people who like, oh, I want to do this, and they constantly talk about it, and it's like, you're just choosing not to. But it's like, nonetheless, but in the end, for the most part, choose something else. Well, it's like, that's totally fine. As long as you're doing something, keeping busy, staying positive, that's all that matters.
Shut up, Becca says, we live in the city, but our property is still fairly comfortable. We have limited tools, but that doesn't stop me. I repurpose old furniture and scrap building materials I find on the side of the road to make things around my place.
Cool.
I want to dip into woodworking to expand or add additions onto my home. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Ultimate goal is to make a butterfly cottage, like a little studio for people going through it to have a place to stay. That's amazing.
That's cool.
That's freaking rad.
That's metal.
That. Somebody says, choosing to not implies in people's minds who hear it, I'm being lazy, I'm not doing something I should be, I'm not good enough. Yeah. And you wouldn't want to imply that upon yourself either. You would want to be like, oh, this makes me unworthy or something, That'd be a bummer. All right. You're right, man. Paying on these smooth surfaces is very hard.
Yes.
It is.
So you would think it's the other way around.
The fun and stuff, but, it's for me, and, I'm going to live with it just fine, but, it looks like paint.
Yeah. That's the issue.
I don't know how to get to an actual texture vibe
on something so smooth. I don't really know either, to be fair.
It's really hard. I mean, it probably would take,
I'm about to be in the same boat because I'm painting the Big Bad Wolf, and I'm going to be doing the same thing, trying to paint on, fur kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, oh, yeah, it's going to be real
Is
rough.
there texture on that one, or is it... Big Bad Wolf's probably textured, right?
No, not really.
No?
No, his tail, he's got a big kind of textured tail. But no, for the most part, he's really not.
I should usually do the other brush for that, but oops. Yeah, that's nice. Italiano.
Yeah.
Mambo.
It's
Mambo Italiano, hey mambo. I mean, I'm okay with it because it's, supposed to be kind of silly and stuff anyhow, but...
Look at here. It looks good. I keep in mind you're also looking... I know, I have no idea. No clue. But...
I should back. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm really happy with it. Like, I got the kind of thing I was thinking. I mean, it looks like fur. It just looks like...
Again, you're looking at it also very, very close.
Yeah, I guess if you get out here...
Which is not how you look at stuff, That's one thing with mini painting you always have to be aware of.
Yeah.
Is you don't look at minis in real life how you look at them when you're painting them. It's not even remotely close. So it's like, you always have to remember that, like... Put it far away. Does it look cool there? Great. Then you're doing fine. It's like, but it does take a little bit of like, oh gosh. And you're like, no, this is actually fine. And I just slapped this freaking silver everywhere because I just apparently am a massive masochist. So now I've got to go through with my yellow and try and fix all this crap. So annoyed with myself.
It happens.
Really what I should have done, it's like I should have done the black first. Because that's in the recesses. Then I should have done the silver. Then I should have done the yellow. But I was excited to do the yellow. So I did the yellow first. And that was dumb.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, and it's like, now it's like I have to do this. It's going to mess up all my blends. Yeah, I did this in a stupid way. So that's the problem is I've kind of taken to painting what I'm most excited for first. Which is cool and in theory sounds awesome. But
you might create more work for yourself later.
Yeah, it's like reality is paint stuff in a succession that is going to make it easier for you to, it's like, again, if you have this like really deep recessed area, paint that first because it's going to be really hard to paint that afterwards. If you do that.
Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe. What's up? How you doing? Red Macau, Emma.
Yo.
How's the Deutschland?
How you doing? It's like still next
Probably
to my country.
Fine, yeah. I guess fine. I don't know. I'm not there.
I haven't been there.
There must be something wrong.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
it's
literally. Dutchland's are okay. How are y'all? We're good. Yeah, there's no way that's accurate.
We're good. I'm trying to get some cool purple things in here, make a dope Roomba, but it's just. I go through phases of nice stable hand, good work, and I'm on this new brush. I'm like, this is a Cadillac brush. It's gonna be precise. I'm just like all over the place. I'm like, maybe I need my.
That's too bad, Mike. That's too bad. Huh? You hate to see it.
I know it's not accurate. If anyone's in chat right now, can you just type anything to prove a point? And then now no one's speaking. Dragons, thank you. All right.
Thank you. Perfect.
We just were checking our thing. It says you have 0 viewers. I'm like, I don't think that's correct.
Our viewers were just like going down. Also, we down to like 4. I'm like, I feel like we don't have 4 viewers. I feel like we have 2 viewers.
It's not updating us correctly. It was just bizarre.
Thanks. Viewers across Twitch is all effed up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just whatever it is not updating correct.
We're all of a sudden just like, dang, what did we do to start pissing people off?
We've got good numbers. Yeah, all of a sudden there's like 9
people.
Oh,
man, what is going on?
What did we do?
We're just like, this sucks.
I think Twitch did something.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Twitch be just giving people anxiety today. Just straight up. Just messing with us all. Get Emma, what are you up to?
What is everyone up to? What's everyone up to? Everyone been playing anything cool stuff? Everyone been painting anything cool? I didn't think my cat fur was that bad. My 2020. All viewers are like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm gonna check out.
Yeah, it's like, he's gonna go with that little stripey techniques. Cool.
First time. Cool.
First time painting, bro. Like, the whole purpose of this show is to say that I'm a beginner.
I'm a learner. 1 is the loneliest number I've ever known. Been gardening a lot and finishing up old paintings. Cool. Down to 0 viewers. That's right, baby. That's right. That's how we do.
We don't need ya.
Oh, I don't need you. I'm going to sit here and paint anyway.
Well,
we don't have it.
Emma says, life's been strange. Word. It's just a weird time. I think we can agree. It's a weird time. It's a weird time. It's a weird time.
It's a weird time, fam. Hi, Matthew. He said, well, that can't be right, Matthew. It is right. Just want to let you know. Let you know what you're getting into.
It's so wrong. It's right.
A day full of anxiety.
Yeah, definitely don't go off of those being like, well, that's really was horrible. No one loves us. Unless you're talking about my cat. That can't be right. That's not a cat. That's not how any cat has ever looked.
No cat has looked this way. So I'm still glazing, smoothing out.
That's a cat. That cat has.
And you can tell that, like, down here, my transition, they have gotten smoother because I'm constantly putting a bit of yellow over that. And it's essentially like doing just tiny little thin coats to smooth it out. So I really like glazing because, again, you can punch up colors. You can straight up change colors if you put enough layers on there. And you can just make these really cool effects. And it's just, it really has, like, been
your jam.
Yeah, it's been my jam. I first started doing it on that big mini, and I was like, oh, this is my squeeze.
Well, I'm back with my parents, so that's weird. Oh, yeah, is that a bummer? How is it, like, because I know some folks, are back with their parents to take care of them, or whatever the situation may be. Is it, do you fall into the classic kid-parent things? Like, there's times over the holidays, or whatever with mom, and she'll say something, and she'll start, like, nagging on something, and I just jump right into being 15 again, where I was like, Mom!
Yeah.
I'll do the dishes! I said I would! The whole point, Karen's like, Jesus, how old are you? And I'm just like, shoot, Mom, she said stupid stuff. It's just like,
yeah, no,
I can't help it, man. You've been around these people too long.
Yeah, you've been around for so many years.
Like, I'm probably convinced that, like, Matthew just fist fights his brother all the time. He's been around that dude his whole life.
Yeah.
Since every minute.
The whom.
I'm going to fist fight you right now.
We'll fist fight you, and we're equally matched.
So I'm going to say good morning to you, pal.
Because we are a genetic duplicate.
We are an oddity in the world.
A beautiful oddity.
Just, it's some sort of comfortable, but yeah, exactly what you just said, yeah. Except for you yelling Dutch. Ugh!
Alrighty.
Is now a total of watchers are as cool or cooler than Matthew Jude. Therefore, viewership across Twitch is at 0.
Boom. No one's cool.
Twitch has changed the way it calculates viewers. Oh. Now a total of watchers is cooler. I see the whole sentence, so basically, doing a super compliment from a boy. The cat's looking good. I'm like, thank you. I'm pretty happy with it. From there, it looks cool. It's got some texture to it.
I like it.
I haven't finished its face.
You know what it looks better than, Mike? Being unpainted. That's right, baby.
Got him. Got him.
I got him.
Actually, I'm pretty happy with it.
You should be.
It's a little rough and tumble, but it's all right.
Hey, man, that's how it goes. If you had done this thing weeks ago,
it would be rougher.
That's what I'm saying, man. So we got about 10 more minutes before we head out so Matthew and Paul can get set up and ready. So we're going to be playing with these on Monday. We're going to play Quirky Circuits. The next Wednesday, we're going to paint the other two and then play with those on that Monday. So we're going to play some Quirky Circuits on the Mondays. We kind of want to start working in what we're painting into our Monday streams. Not always, but, just if we're painting something that we can play, it'd be pretty cool in that way.
If and as it's appropriate to do so,
So, we're going to play with these two and then play with the next one once they're painted. So you'll be able to see these bad boys in action on Monday evening. And yeah, this has been it's nice. It's one of those things where it's like we're kind of doing a crash course, a bunch of different stuff. We started off with kind of some easy textured minis that you can't really mess up on, with like Ramen Bones, and switched over to some more serious stuff with like some Games Workshop stuff, and then switched over to mechs, which I do think are kind of an easy starter thing because you just make them look cool, and Mike crushed it. And now we're kind of going into a little harder territory of like smooth stuff.
I think you meant impossible territory.
What is it?
You said hard. I said impossible.
What are you doing? The inside purple?
Yeah, it's in like a little.
Dude,
so it's
I
like a
love
little.
it.
Just a little
color
detail.
Yeah, I love that. That's good, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. Said, hey, they're totally transformed. I like the yellow propellers for the bee. Yeah, I'm gonna make the bottom one black.
I for sure
To
am
keep
a mess,
it-
but thank you, Sliver. Sass Queen, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
That's absolutely understandable. We're all thinking about you. I'm glad that you're here with us this morning.
yes. Be here with your fam.
Kessler says, I like the yellow propellers for the bee. It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep on, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wherever you. Busting that lip.
Boom. Sorry, I'm not looking up. I'm trying to make sure I don't hit anything.
Meanwhile, I'm just hitting everything.
Yeah, that's.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's just the struggle. Right
Quick
there.
says, Mike, what color are you making the eyes? Well, obviously going to be big white, but I was thinking about the middles. I don't know. Maybe I'll make them purple like the Roomba. Just the little pupils in there.
Especially if it is a robot, it is one with its Roomba.
Actually, that might be kind of fun. I'm just going to do it. We're going to go for it. I'm going to do it right now.
Narrative. Take it the narrative way, dude.
We're going to do the inside the ears pink. Yes, Sass Queen, I am. And then I'll do like a little bit of a pink tongue, and I'll just kind of paint black probably the rest of that. Just the roof of the mouth. Yeah. I don't know why I haven't done those details yet, but I'm doing
man.
them now.
Go wherever your heart tells you, dude. Oh! Well, I didn't hit the back of the bee, and I guess that's what matters. All right. Now we got our propellers and little bees like bee.
And go with the flow, Mike. Do what feels good. See, I'm getting all this like great advice from you artist folks, and it makes me feel better
Good.
about my lot in life.
About my lot.
In my artistic life, my life itself is fine. Yeah. Demon! Sigh, despite my best efforts, I cannot find a way to Grubhub myself some Twizzlers. What world do we live in? You can't even Grubhub yourself some Twizzlers.
What's the point of being free? You know?
Weak. I mean, Twizzlers are kind of gross anyway, so you're probably doing yourself a service by not being able to have them. It's funny because this brush is objectively better, but it's different, and so there's been a bit of an adjustment here.
A bit of a learning curve.
I'm a bit sloppier with it, despite it literally being
Just so
much more precise.
Yeah.
Funny.
But we do a full day with that. Yeah, you'll notice a difference. It's like you don't need a super nice brush, but once you start getting some more skills with that, it does pay off to have like a decent brush. But the other thing, these brushes were great. I mean, and that's the thing, is those were pretty cheap on Amazon. You don't need like an expensive brush, but having one that's a bit nicer is very, very useful. Alrighty. So, go get the black market Twizzlers. That's right. I need my fix. Alright, so I'm going to Nuln Oil all the metal parts here. And then, I might call this done. Although I think I'm going to thin this out. I don't want this to be... I mean, I might highlight a bit with some silver, but I don't want her to look dirty. Like the mechs that we were doing was very much like, yeah, just make them as like crazy and dirty as you want because they're mechs, you know.
Yeah, you can grungify them.
Yeah. So it just didn't really matter, but now it's like no, I don't want them to look like that. I want her to look pretty good. Nick's getting dirty. You ain't wrong, girl.
Nick getting dirty. You can see Nick getting dirty.
Nick's getting dirty. Mostly what I want the little spots in between her little plates here. I want those to be darker. That's the main thing. And like around like the rivets like that, I want that to be darkened. Just to give it a little bit of tonal variety, we'll say. Mostly because she actually flies around. She has a little transparent base that ours broke. We're going to try and fix it. So she actually is like up off the table. She's not sitting on the table like she is on this thing. It's 10:53. Indeed. We're going to go for a couple more minutes. We usually give them like a 5-minute thingy there. So make sure to stick around, fam, for this game gets dicey. It's great. Paula and Matthew are incredible, lovely people. And they should be setting up right now. So, gonna finish up this little washy thing here, and then we're going to head out. Yo! Bing! What? Oh, yeah! Do they have those? Oh, they do have those little insets. Oh, that's so cute!
Yeah. Black, Wash, and Silver looks primo, Nick.
Yeah.
The end of an eating contest is just the beginning of a pooping contest. We'll say. Are they the pooping contest then? Or the eating contest? I'll take it. Can I get like that pink over there?
This one?
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
Emperor's Children.
I don't know who this emperor and their children are, but man, they are flamboyant. I love it.
Bum, bum, bum. Look to be who
Let's give it a boo.
Hey, my own blur.
All right. So now her metal here has a bit of definition, which is nice. You can see now. You can see all the little.
You're just an ace painter, bro.
Links in between there. Alrighty, and that's probably her little B. I may do a teeny bit of touch up here and there on her, but nonetheless, that is probably going to be... Yeah, black wash is just like... Black wash on silver. I can hear you going... over there.
It's just real scary.
Oh, God. Yeah, black wash on silver is just ace. Alrighty, and that's going to be our little B there. A little 2-hour paint job. Not bad, not bad. She looks better. She's got a little, I like it. She got a little shading on her back, you know. Nothing crazy, but it's definitely a difference, you know. And then she's nice and silver, and she's got her little B propellers, and she's like, yay. And now she looks cute. So the crew is back on Amazon for $14.95 with an April 27th ship day. That's not bad. Alrighty, fam.
Price on that game.
We are going to have to head out because we only got a couple minutes to give them some time. So we love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Make sure to stick around for Paula and Matthew. Make sure to stick around for the rest of the shows here on Wednesday. And we'll be back here on Monday evening playing Quirky Circuits with Gizmo.
Woo!
And... Twirl is her name. That's right.
Yeah,
Twirl is her name. Twirl his name.
Twirl.
That's what she does. She goes like like that. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Stick around for Paula and Matthew. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Love y'all. Bye.